Warning, we are a spoiler-based podcast. At times, we are also an offensive podcast, and we are most certainly a verbally explicit podcast. So if you fear for any of your delicate sensibilities, please back up now before you reach the point of no return. This is your final warning.
Welcome to the 200th episode of Cinematic Anarchy. I'm going to sit back here and settle in a little bit. Got the microphone nice and nestled between the both of us.
What's up, guys?
With me today, as you can hear, Miss B. And we are going to do the episode that should have been done before, episode 199.
Yeah.
Just doing things in fucking reverse.
Yep.
Tusk. Otherwise now known as What the Fuck Did I Just Watch?
Hey, man, I watched the movie that shall not be named.
Man in a walrus flesh suit?
Yep.
Well, yeah, we're not going to name that movie. Mm-hmm. You watched that, but...
Now, what the fuck did you just watch?
You watched this before I watched this.
Uh-huh.
So you knew what I was getting into.
Oh, yeah.
The movie I had you watch, I had no idea. I'm like, I've heard some good things about this. And it was directed by... James Gunn. So, like, yeah, let's do this. And then I watched it, and I was like, what the fuck did I just do to everyone?
Dick Monster!
So, you knew fully what I was getting into when I watched this shit. I had no clue. No idea. And now I want no clue and no idea. Can we erase this from my memory?
Oh, if only. You
I mean,
get real drunk.
It's not like a traumatizing watch or anything. But it is certainly one of those things you can't fucking unsee.
My brother and one of my other friends both were like, I'm fully fucking traumatized by this shit. Never the goddamn again.
No.
And now I fucking tease them with like little memes or some shit.
This is all sorts of special, and thank you for joining us today, braving the broken ankle and actually walking up my stairs to come and
I don't
do
think
the recording
it's broken.
today.
I can still kind of move my toes. Ow.
You can still kind of move your toes. Ow.
Yep.
Kind of move your toe. You can't move your toes without ow. That's the problem.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
And then you climbed my steps with ooh, ow, oh, ow, ooh, ow.
Son of a bitch!
So, either way, I appreciate you.
It's all gravy, baby.
I was hoping for a slightly larger cast here, maybe bring a few people in online.
Right.
But,
everyone's busy.
No, not everyone's busy. It has nothing to do with that. I slacked.
Oh.
I had a really busy week, and I just couldn't communicate with people. The only person I could really do the communication with was you, and I was like...
I get it.
I think we were going back and forth in the other group, just kind of... I gotta add you back to that group.
Yeah.
Because we ended up...
I went MIA for way too long.
Well, it's fine. You
yeah.
had things going on. Tom had things going on. Hey, we fucking miss you, Tom. Get the hell back over
Love
here.
You, bitch.
We got 4 episodes we can put out as soon as you come back and finish it up. I keep bringing that up, but I said, what we could always do is I told Piper, I said, I got 4 episodes. If I have you listen to these episodes, maybe I could bring Piper on and have her help us finish up the last episode.
Yeah.
That's fine. I don't mind doing that.
Whatever's clever.
And then we got 4 episodes in the waiting. That'll clear an entire month in the middle of whatever part of the holiday season. We don't want to deal with anything.
Yeah. I feel that. But anywho.
Talking about Tusk, and I didn't realize that our lead strange actor here had passed away, Michael Parks, rest in peace. Rest in peace several years ago. It was like 7 years ago. So 2017, he passed away. It looks like this and Red State were the last 2 films that he did. So he went out doing weird films for Kevin Smith.
Yeah. Good way to go out.
Is it? Really, though?
Weird movies for Kevin Smith?
I love Kevin Smith, don't get me wrong. But the last 2 things you did before passing away were like weird Kevin Smith movies. It's
not the worst thing.
It's not the worst thing. But you'd want your last 2 credits to be some
It's definitely memorable.
It's definitely memorable. This will be in the back of my mind in subconscious traumatic nightmares for a while.
You're gonna dream about skin suit walruses now.
Because there were several of them. Who were the other ones?
All the people that went missing. He's a serial killer.
Oh yeah, right. Well, I wouldn't call him a killer. A serial killer per se.
Well, because none of the other people that he's kidnapped before and put into the walrus suits fucking
I would
made
call
it as
him-
far as Justin Long. And by the way, if it's Justin Long in a fucking horror movie, you know he's gonna have a bad time.
I would call him an oceanic Dr. Frankenstein.
Okay.
You know, that he's basically trying to put together walruses from what? Did he, like, end up stranded on a rock somewhere?
Yeah.
And
He
ended up
explained
eating a walrus that he had made friends with?
Yeah, he explained the story.
Yeah.
He was stuck there for a long fucking time, and then he gets found right after he eats the fucking walrus.
Look, we were watching a lot of the fucking Walking Dead last night before, you know, the wife walks off to the other room, and I'm like, I'm gonna watch this before coming to bed. Great idea, by the way.
Brilliant.
It's like I was up for another hour or so afterwards trying to process. Like, I'm laying on the couch watching the movie, and my eyes are slowly closing, and then all of a sudden the legs disappear, and I'm like, oh, okay, hold on a minute. I gotta sit up and get into this now. And by the end of the movie, I'm just like, I don't know if I'm awake enough to mentally process this. And I had some tea, and I'm like just trying to think of the movie, and I think like she's watching Smallville in the other room, which
Somebody save me.
she got to fall asleep to Tom Welling.
Yeah.
Well, it's Tom Welling, Jensen Ackles. She's got a list of people that she likes to watch to go to bed.
Yeah.
You know,
I feels that.
so it's like okay, better than having to watch Malcolm in the Middle. I think we did that too, and I don't know, something about Bryan Cranston trying to go to sleep. But yeah, this was
interesting for sure.
I'm waiting now because there's a third movie coming out, Moose Jaws. So this is the third film is supposed to come out this year. The finish the trilogy, the True North horror trilogy.
I'm totally gonna watch that shit.
So I'm hoping that it has a lot of the same characters and it does the same thing again, because almost all of the main characters of Yoga Hosers, which we watched previously, are in this movie.
Yeah,
with the exception of a handful. And you know they would have brought this guy back if they could have.
Definitely. Fucking, I don't know, man. This is such an obscure fucking movie.
It's not really all that obscure, though. I've seen a lot of people that have watched this film. This is a movie that should have been obscure. This has, like, almost as much infamy right now as, like, Human Centipede, but for a different reason.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see you.
You know, mind you, ass to mouth in fucking...
Ass to mouth!
Ass to mouth, ass to mouth, ass to mouth. In Human Centipede versus Justin Long in the human skin suit of... this is like what would happen if Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs had a walrus fetish instead of a human. Let's not just make a skin suit. Let's make a skin suit that looks like a fucking walrus.
Yeah. It is very similar.
And what I was realizing, and I'm watching the whole thing, and I'm realizing he used the femurs, the leg bones, to make the tusks. Tibia?
Tibia.
I always thought it was the femur.
When Johnny Depp's character is explaining it to Justin's girlfriend and his best friend about, like, the bodies that have been found before and they have giant holes in their face.
Right.
One of the medical examiners found a piece of tibia.
So that was the leg bone was the tusks. Mm-hmm. So basically that's why he's cutting off the legs. He's cutting off the legs to make the tusks out of the bone of their...
Before he disposes the fucking torsos that don't make it that far into the fucking skin suit, he takes the tusks out. Because that's just for him.
So he's keeping all of the tusks.
Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure he just tosses them into the water, though.
Okay. Because I saw a lot of them down there had the tusks still attached.
And he's got fucking fossilized walrus dick bone on his wall.
Walrus cock.
Yep.
Okay, I missed that part. This must have been when I was starting to... Because I know that they drugged him. He drugged him with the tea.
Yep.
But I think I might have gotten up to get my own tea at the point that the cock came out. That sounds a little weird, but yeah, walrus cock. That's what he said.
And then Justin starts being all fucking weird with it.
Well, he's a weird guy to begin with.
Can I get this in my hands?
Right, like, that's really intriguing to him. He likes weird shit.
Can I get my hands on it?
Can I get my hands on it? Can I hold the walrus dick? He's a little too happy to hold walrus dick. He looks like he wants to put it in his mouth. He really does.
He fucking jokes about it.
He's like hitting himself in the head.
jerking it off in his face.
Oh, God. Yeah, we're watching the movie in the background as we're talking about it, as we always do. And,
that could do some serious fucking damage if you hit someone with it.
I've always liked Justin Long as an actor. He's funny. I think he's a little underrated.
He does well for all these fucking horror movies that he gets fucked up in. Every single fucking horror movie that he's in, he gets fucked up.
Well, he made it out of Yoga Hosers without too many issues. That's not really that was more of a
He didn't
comedy
make
action.
It out. He was still a walrus.
Yoga Hosers?
He won't fucking...
Well, technically he was a walrus, and he was the walrus that was saved.
At the end of this movie, fucking...
He's a walrus,
he's
yes.
He's still the walrus.
But in Yoga Hosers, he's a yoga instructor.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
Even though technically the girls that pointed...
I forgot about that.
Gila
Point.
Gila Point? I was going to call him Gila Dick for some reason, but I guess not. And you know that I noticed that, like... His features in the second movie, in Yoga Hosers, were far more... not him, not Justin Long, Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
Like, the bushy eyebrows and everything else and was far more crazy and exaggerated. And
multiplying.
So it makes me wonder if they have the same character in the third movie, if he's just going to look like some caveman with a giant mole on his face, you know?
I believe it.
The crossed eyes are going to be more prominent. It's just he's going to look crazier and crazier as he goes along in the series. Right?
Yeah, so here he's explaining, like, how he fucking got stranded in the sea and fucking finds a small island, I think.
Right.
Befriends a walrus, gets to the point where he's fucking starving to death, and he ends up eating the walrus just as he gets found and rescued. He's like, no! And now he wants to bring the walrus back.
But, I mean, sometimes you gotta eat your friends.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, I've never gotten to the point where I've been so hungry I needed to cannibalize another person.
Well, I mean, it's not the apocalypse
eat the cat.
yet.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't the apocalypse for him either. He was just stranded on a rock.
It might as well have been the fucking end of the world for him.
True.
He was dying.
I wonder how long I'd have to go without regular food to eat the cat.
I'd say about a week.
And there's a lot of meat on that cat. It's a 25-pound cat.
Maybe a couple of days.
That's like a Thanksgiving turkey right there, but in cat form.
That would
Dylan should be hiding from me right now. I'm talking about eating the cat, so it's...
That'd be some good eatings.
I don't know what cat meat tastes like. I don't ever want to know what cat meat tastes like. I don't want to know. I mean, I'm sure there's certain countries that are like...
If I had to, yeah, I would.
There's certain countries that are like, hey...
I don't think there's going to be any fucking need anytime soon for eating the cat.
I mean, are there? I think there are certain places that use like what would normally be considered domestic animals as food.
Oh yeah, the fucking dog festival.
What?
It's out. It's in an Asian country. I don't remember where, but they have a dog festival where they slaughter dogs in the street and fucking eat them.
Gives a new meaning to hot dogs, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
Hot dog here, hot dog, nope.
Their dogs, like, strung up by their feet and skinned and fucking, like, getting ready to be prepared.
You know the Chihuahuas always make it out of that alive, because nobody's eating a Chihuahua. There's no meat on those. They're yippy,
like
but they're not...
Little nuggets.
At best. Even on a chicken, you want a little bit more meat than that freaking Chihuahua has on it. Unless you're like, you raise the Chihuahua to be a fat little guy, you know? You can turn him into one of those little barrel hug drinks, right?
I've known quite a few hot chihuahuas. Or hot chihuahuas?
Hot chihuahuas?
Fat chihuahuas.
You heard hot dog and you're just thinking...
I heard hot dog in my brain. I'm toasty, man.
You're just picturing a chihuahua on a bun.
Oh, yeah.
Yip, 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 yip. Okay.
Yeah, okay, I don't like that.
No. Oh.
Back to the movie. Why are we talking about eating animals?
Well, we were talking about eating animals because he was talking about eating the walrus.
No more domestics.
He got stuck on a rock, and we were contemplating, like, what would it take, or where do they actually eat these animals in the world? And I mean, there's got to be a place that eats walrus.
I believe it.
Some weird coastal city, somewhere.
Likely. I don't know. There might be too much fat.
Have no idea. I've never actually researched that, so I can only speculate that it's like some coastal town. Maybe they're Finland, Norway, somewhere like that.
That'd be interesting. I don't know. I'll look it up later.
Walrus Fest.
Walrus Fest.
The Tusks, they're probably...
endangered? I don't
Walrus?
think
I don't think walruses are endangered.
I don't know, man. I don't know things.
Look, they don't come to us for information. We're just sitting here to
Speculate.
We have done nothing informative at all. All right, and I look up, and he's got his O-face going on. Yep, I shouldn't have looked up.
O-face!
That was my fault. Like I said, I like Justin Long's in the movies, but his O-face is something I could have avoided altogether. So, throughout the entire film, outside of Justin Long, who we've commented on several times, who do you feel did the best acting performance throughout the entire film?
Best acting in the film?
Best acting. Best acting.
I mean, Justin Long.
I said outside of Justin Long.
Outside of Justin Long?
We cannot say Justin Long.
Can't say Justin Long. Okay. His girlfriend.
That's too obvious. Okay, you liked his girlfriend in this?
Yeah.
I would go with Michael Parks.
The
Howard
crazy
Howe.
guy?
Yeah, the crazy guy.
Yeah, he did really fucking well.
He was unsettling to watch this entire film. Like, he made... The walrus by itself was creepy.
He plays crazy really fucking well.
But his obsession with turning people into a walrus. And then...
The fact that his girlfriend comes back with his best friend to throw him a fucking fish in that pathetic little fucking zoo.
The fact that he built himself his own walrus skin suit so that they could have a final battle. That's what he does with these walruses, is he turns them into a walrus, and tries to get them into the mindset of a walrus, and he's like, I want to give you a fair chance, my friend. And then he's like...
If you win, you can live, and I will die, because I want to. Bro, just hang yourself.
Right. But he wants to be taken out by his friend who he ate. He wants somebody worthy to kill him, basically. No matter what he's doing, essentially he is building a human walrus to kill him.
Right. Also, it's a skin suit. Cut him out of the suit. And then get reconstructive surgery.
I want to say it's a skin suit, but I think that he literally...
Sewed him into the suit.
I was looking at that diagram that he had. He drew a diagram. I think he is...
He did fuse his arms down, but
like all of his body parts are somehow tucked together and bent in a certain way to make that walrus form. They don't give you a really good look at it, because obviously none of it makes sense. Because he is essentially a sewn-up human blob made to look like a walrus.
Fucking faces on the side and an ear.
Yeah, I saw the ear like on the side over there. It's like, why is there an ear on his hip? Where his hip should be.
Right?
It's like, well, I had to use...
There were a couple of faces in there, too.
There were definitely parts from other human beings.
Oh, yeah.
There. You know, that wasn't all Justin Long. There were definitely, okay, well, we're going to save this little part of this person. So other people had to die. I want to know where he's
getting all the fucking people for all the suits, because, like...
Well, did you see
all the people that he fucking sewed into the suits? Yeah, but he already made the suits when he sewed them in. Where are all the people he's using to fucking make the suits? Why aren't people looking for them?
I'm sure they are.
They only mention... the detective only mentions the fact that they're looking for the people specifically becoming walruses.
Right.
What about all the people that made the walrus suits?
Mind you, they might not have any of the telltale signs of having been a walrus, so they're not putting them in the same boat.
Yeah.
They're not realizing, hey, some of these people might have been killed just for their parts.
It's all connected.
Like, this guy's missing an entire side of his face with an ear.
Right.
Why aren't we looking for where that ear went? It happens to be sewn into Justin Long's hip. Not all of this is your DNA, sir.
Right? Like, fucking bring him to a fucking hospital, get fucking swabs and shit. Test all the fucking Patch's DNA.
Well, that would have taken maybe an extra 20 minutes to do in the movie.
Oh, man.
Well, we found where like 40 other people disappeared to. See that guy? That guy's part of your ass over there, and this guy's part of your flippers over here. That one's on your hip. What's that about? Yeah, me trying my best to
fucking God.
do a Canadian accent. I can't do it.
This movie is fucked up.
It's a little bit beyond fucked up. And the fact that, like, he called both of these people who... They both ignored his calls.
Right.
So that they can continue.
They had been trying to call back. Or she had been trying for, like, 3 days to get a hold of him.
Right, and he finally reaches out to them.
While they're about to fuck.
Right. And he ignores them completely.
Yep.
Or they ignore him completely, I should say.
Took his leg and is filing up the bone now.
Right. Is this the first or second time that he wakes up, like, half groggy? I think this is the first time he wakes up. And he's not quite...
aware that he's missing a fucking leg yet.
This guy doesn't even need the wheelchair that he's in.
No, he doesn't.
He just uses it to kind of...
He fucking plays it off as if he fucking needs it to make his victims think that he's immobilized.
Which is
that
bullshit.
he won't be able to fucking, like, do anything to them.
Did they say what they drugged him with? Like, what kind of sedative?
Don't remember.
I mean, why does he
No,
still...
I don't think he actually says what he fucking drugged him with. He tells this whole fucking lie about, Justin getting bit by a brown recluse, and the doctor fucking brought him here, and it swelled up so bad he needed to cut the leg off.
No.
Yeah, no, that's not... I've been bitten by a brown recluse. It sucks.
Well, I mean, honestly, if you let it go for long enough, that's possible. It is.
I mean, yeah.
A bite from a brown recluse
sucks.
Is nothing to fuck with.
Agonizing.
That being said, though,
In
that
that
seems to be
short
his go-to
fucking-
excuse
Yeah.
for things. Like, I mean, I get it. In this particular instance, you passed out, you got bit by a spider. That's logical. I mean, you could actually use that excuse and somebody might believe it.
Right there in the middle of the woods.
But he's also coming out of this drugged haze, so he doesn't...
Yeah.
He can't fully process what's going on around him yet. You know, it's like, have you been on painkillers that heavy where you just can't really process? You're just kind of in a haze trying to piece the world together?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucking... The whole fucking lie about the doctor taking out all the phones so that he can rest and relax. Like, bitch,
Well, there's still a phone there
you're
somewhere.
bad at lying. You should have, like, thought this out a little better.
Well, he's lying just enough so the guy doesn't panic. And if he's this heavily drugged,
Yeah.
there's not a lot of mental process going on to be able to think, oh yeah, my fight or flight instinct should be kicking in right about now, because some of this does not sound fucking right. And he's used to
Yeah.
dealing with crazy people and thinking of it as interesting, not thinking of it as a red flag. So he knew this guy was kind of crazy to begin with, and that it might be weird and interesting, and he might get some good stories out of it, and he kind of does, but he ends up being the story.
We didn't even mention to the listeners that, like, all of this is happening because he needs content for his podcast.
All of this is happening because in the beginning of the movie, spoilers, we already tell them, spoiler alert at the beginning anyway, but in the beginning of the movie, he is trying to hunt down some kid called the Kill Bill Kid.
The Kill
who
Bill Kid.
accidentally cut off his own leg while swinging around a katana.
Yeah, and he ends up killing himself, and he's looking for someone interesting to interview. Because
He's so dismissive about this kid killing himself. He's like, well, that was a $550 ticket wasted.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like, okay, this kid killed himself, and instead of having any kind of sympathy talking about him, he's literally talking about him like, now I wasted my time.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, I'm going to find something because this is not going to be a waste of my time and money.
handwritten fucking advertisement on a bulletin board in the fucking bar.
That's what you get for hunting down a guy you find on a
Right,
on a wall
right,
while you're
that-
pissing into a urinal.
That shit looks fucking ominous in itself. I am not going to a strange man's house in the middle of the fucking night in the woods. That's
Look,
serial killer vibe.
if you're in the middle of a bar called H, and you happen to be pissing and you look up on a wall and see something interesting, perhaps don't follow it.
Right?
If you're in the middle
Take
of
a picture
peeing and
of the
find
fucking
anything, rarely
then
is there anything
move
good
on.
that happens in the middle of you pissing.
Right? Fucking, But yeah, no, fucking, his podcast is called The Nazi Party.
Right. Not C.
C,
Notsee.
Yeah, because his best friend, fucking Haley Joel Osment, doesn't want to, he's like, what, agoraphobic? Or something. He doesn't like going to all these places, but he
I don't
wants
think he's
to know about it.
agoraphobic. I just think he just doesn't like doing things.
Yeah.
Except for his girlfriend. He likes doing
except for his girlfriend. Fucking, but yeah, no, Justin goes out to all these places and he tells his bestie about it, and his buddy just doesn't see it. He just wants to hear about it.
Right. I don't think that his buddy actually was ever agoraphobic or doesn't like going out to do things. I think...
He just doesn't want to be seen in public with this fucking asshole.
No, I think he sends him off on these missions to go do things so that he can have sex with his girlfriend.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
He's like, you know what, buddy? Go away. I'm going to have sex with your girlfriend for a
Right.
while. We keep sending you on trips, and that's our time to do our thing.
Fucking... during one of their episodes, Justin was talking about how, you're the man, you're taking my girlfriend out on this fucking trip to see, like, an art museum or something, and, like, I hate that shit, so fucking, thank you. Taking that shit off my shoulders, and is completely fucking disconnected from his whole relationship.
Right.
Like, why the fuck are you even with her, bro?
I mean, she obviously still likes him, but he's a dick.
Yeah, he's a
like she visits him as a walrus, crying.
Right? Let him die, dude.
I'm so sorry. This is all my fault. And then she walks off with the other guy's arm around her shoulder,
Right?
like
Throws him a fucking mackerel.
He's like, I don't care if you still like this guy. I'm the one that gets to sleep with you. And so, okay, well,
right?
This is a weird throuple relationship.
He's still got
here.
a human stomach. Fucking give him a meal. Don't throw him a fucking fish. That's just insult on injury.
Hey, look. Does he seem to care? He ate the fish without a thought.
Because he was fucking hungry. And he's being treated like a fucking animal. He's still a fucking human
Yes
brain.
and no. There were plenty of those cups sitting around him empty. So somebody was giving him soda.
Yeah.
So that's his life, mackerel and soda.
The goddamn fish.
Right? I mean, you could grill it up.
Right.
I guess that's like
Too much fucking effort.
sushi without the effort, basically. I don't even know what to
Fuck
do with
that
that.
bitch.
Okay, so worst actor in the film. Who would you consider the worst actor in the film?
Oh, man.
That's a tough one for you?
That is a tough one
That's
for
a
me.
difficult one. I don't know. Throughout the entire film, if we go from back to front, I would have to say, if we're talking like the primary actors, the ones that you have Justin Long, you have Mr. Howard Howe here, you got Johnny Depp's character, Guy Lapointe. Why would Guy Ledouche? There's a thing. I think it's MXC or something like that, which is like this weird thing that used to be on Spike TV. It's sort of like a dubbed over Japanese game show where they kind of make fun of everything that's going on.
Yeah.
I think it was a game show called Yoshi's Castle or something to that nature. And one of the main characters that introduces everybody is called Guy Ledouche. So yeah, that's where that came from. But
okay,
if we're talking like all the actors in the film that had primary roles, I would have to say Haley Joel Osment really didn't do it for me in this film.
I get that.
I don't see him as the ladies' man that stole Justin Long's girlfriend.
Not so much ladies' man, but more listening ear, and he's just there.
He strikes me as the guy that the girl dated some douchebag and does the hard autocorrect the other way for the rebound relationship.
Oh yeah.
It's like I don't want the douchebag anymore. I just want the really the
nice
really
guy.
Sympathetic, nice guy. Or well, not even nice guy. Like I feel like he's the guy that has nice guy syndrome, who thinks he's a nice guy, and I should have the girl because I'm the nice guy.
Yeah.
Even though technically you're not a nice guy, you're kind of a douche just on a different level.
Oh my god, yeah.
That's how I felt about his performance.
Agreed.
Like I don't think that he's a nice guy. I think he was just
he's a nice guy.
The guy who played the nice guy because he wanted the girl.
Yeah.
It's like the real guy that I am is I'm kind of a douche that would steal my buddy's girlfriend without a thought in my head.
And fuck you, you're
and
still
continue
a walrus.
to fuck her even after he's been turned into a walrus by some psychopath.
Come on, let's go, sweetheart. We don't need to see this anymore.
Do you feel the same way?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
He's such a fucking douche.
Differing opinions on the best actor, but we both agree that the worst was definitely Haley Joel Osment. And I don't think honestly, I'm not sure.
Actor, though.
I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I don't think anybody here did a bad job.
He just didn't fucking hit.
I just didn't. Yeah, it's like I didn't really like his acting job.
It was a miss.
Yeah. It was a miss for me.
Yeah.
If anything was a miss in this,
right?
How do you call something a miss that wasn't necessarily a miss? Like I liked all the acting performances. Which one did I like the least?
Right.
I'm sorry, Haley. You ended up. If I have to list them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
C'est la vie.
You're down here. This is not AI. This is something else altogether. This is Tusk.
Tusk.
Justin, you can't add Justin Long to the best or worst actors here because, he was
the whole
film.
Movie.
He went through a whole range of weird emotions in this film, and managed to make a believable skin suit walrus.
Right.
Which is tough to say or tough to process in my head. Just seeing that.
Yeah. No. This is definitely high ranking on his weird fucking filmography.
I still kind of like the Harley Quinn, Lily Rose Depp combination in this. They were weird.
Oh yeah, they're fucking great.
why they had their own movie afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much the only watchable part of Yoga Hosers, really. Like, I liked Yoga Hosers, but it was like for them. I liked them.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I liked them quite as much when I watched it, though. Like, I like them a little bit better now, having watched them in this film. Like, having a little bit of backstory to what Yoga Hosers is. Yeah. I should have watched this first. You're like,
Yeah,
have
you should have.
Have you even watched Tusk? I'm like, no. Well, all these characters are in Tusk. You really?
Watch a lot of fucking weird shit, man. I figured you already had.
Look, I got an entire shelf of weird shit. Some things I haven't even seen yet. It's like, I have all these movies here.
I just didn't watch it yet.
Several hundred Blu-rays, and I have maybe watched a quarter of them. I bought a lot of them because I was thinking, like, this was back when we were all gathering here, and Omar was coming over, and Seth was coming over. I'm like, we can watch some of these films, and it's like, I got all this collection together, and then several years down the road, and we kind of, like, after COVID hit, and we were all doing things from our separate areas.
Yeah, we disconnected.
We disconnected a lot. I'm surprised that this is like 6 years strong and we still 200 episodes now.
Right.
We have a couple of years where there were only like 12 episodes out there, which is fine. We're like, I think 14 episodes this year, around there. And while this is our 200th episode today, we might be going on a little hiatus because Anchor is no more and their editing software is no more, and I have to make a decision to actually put some money into this podcast.
Yeah.
Which means I have to make a decision on how to find a way to get money out of the podcast. I did not want to treat it like
a fucking
something that we needed to get money out of, but I need to break even. If I'm going to spend $50 to $100 putting out the podcast every month, I need to be able to figure out a way to get that money back in, whether that's setting up a Patreon or setting up a subscription service somewhere or something. I'd rather do Patreon because then I can interact with people. I say we.
Yeah, I feel that.
I do a lot of it on my end, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to stress you guys out with that. I want you to come over, have fun. I don't want to be reaching out to everybody going, hey, come on, post this and share this and do that.
Right.
Piper wants to help with a little bit of it, but like up until recently, her internet connection has been absolute shit.
Yeah, but
now she's back on track, and technically that's who I should have reached out today to do this with us. We should have been talking to Piper.
I'm sure she would have had a fucking blast.
And you know who else we got to bring over here? Not Piper. Who's the other one?
Peyton, baby!
Peyton, where are you?
I love you, bitch!
We gotta start talking. Yeah, jumping off the Empire State Building and being shredded by the net. We had that whole conversation.
Yep.
If you want a little bit of backstory on that, run back to our Spaghetti Man episode. Spaghetti Man! Which was absolutely fucking hilarious. That was a movie that had no right to be hilarious, and it was.
It was fucking fantastic.
It was a low-budget mess, and it was funny as fucking hell.
Love it!
We were expecting trash, and it was something we could talk about. That's what I like about some of these strange films. Some of them are just absolute trash.
Yeah.
You cannot consider them anywhere near wonderful. That wasn't where I was going with that. My brain, I was thinking Garbage Pail Kids, because we watched Garbage Pail Kids recently. You were not part of that podcast.
I was not.
But as far as I'm concerned, Garbage Pail Kids is the first movie that, when we're rating the film, we go 1 to 11 now. When we're rating the film, I gave a dead fucking 0. I
used to have Garbage Pail Kids fucking cards.
The stickers are great.
Yeah.
But Sean Astin in that movie?
No.
Oh my god.
No.
It was a horrible film.
Oh man, that's discipping.
I would recommend watching it just so you know why you shouldn't watch it. It was one of those things, like, I thought I was going to have a tough time talking about it. Like, we had an old episode that has never seen the light of day. If we ever do a Patreon, I'll put up some of these podcasts that never saw the light of day. Because that's the place to do it. It's like these things that we either was too much noise in the background. Halfway through the podcast, what should have been that podcast, Double Dragon we were watching, we gave up on. Completely gave up on. We recently did Double Dragon again with a couple of other people. Because it was just me and Seth trying to talk about Double Dragon. And we were like, oh my god, this was fucking trash. And we were so hung up on it being absolute trash, we couldn't come up with anything good to say about it. That's how I felt about Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh man.
But we had a few people on it, and we were able to talk through the whole thing, and it was just so bad.
It's so bad.
It wasn't even so bad it was good, it was just so bad. So go find that. It's free somewhere. It was absolute garbage. Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
Like hot garbage in the fucking sun. It stunk. But I like when we find something on the other end.
Yeah.
Where it's so bad it's good and we have a shitload to talk about. It's like, how was this anywhere near good enough for us to have this much conversation about it? I don't feel that way with this. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was not... I would not call this a classic by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
I do love Kevin Smith for his weird fucking sense of humor. Why is the bathroom the place that they put their phones to
charge?
To charge,
right?
Like
why
obviously,
don't you keep it on your fucking nightstand?
Right. Well, I mean, he's calling them, and the phone's going off. Right.
And
I guess just vibrating.
Haley straight up ignores the call.
Yeah. Haley just looks at
there brushing his teeth while dude's calling.
He straight up ignores the call, but I think it's because he's about to go lay down with this guy's girlfriend. He's like, well, okay, I'm gonna. Why would I want to answer this call right now? I'm gonna go get me some, and then we can answer this in the morning. Turns out he's calling because his legs have been...
He took my fucking leg!
I think both legs are gone at this point.
No, just the one still.
Is it just the one? I could have sworn it was both at this point.
No, I think it's still just the one.
I'm so fucking scared. I'm looking at him talking. I'm scared. I'm not gonna see you again.
Yeah, he's like,
I'm sorry, I was such an asshole. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'm just reading everything that he's doing right now. He's crying. He cut my fucking leg. Okay, so it was just one.
Just one for now.
All right. I thought it was both legs.
Yeah, no, that's after this.
It's just one. By the way, this is a really old school, like, wicker wheelchair that he's being rolled around in, like, ancient. I don't think they make those anymore. The high back wicker.
Add a couple pillows to that shit, man.
I could roll around town in it.
Right? Feel like a fancy bitch.
In luxury, in an antique wheelchair. Of course, I'm a big guy now. I don't think I'd be supported by that too well.
I don't know. Maybe.
It's got to be a hell of a lot more comfortable than the ones with, like, the pleather seat underneath.
Add some pillows to that bitch.
I got to actually look up who this girl is, because I don't know this girl. I recognize most of the other actors in the film.
I recognize her, I just can't remember what from.
I don't know where she's from. Let's see. This is Genesis... Genesis. Okay, her name is Genesis Rodriguez.
Oh.
No, it was like it was mixed in with the name of the actual character's name, so it's like all mixed in there. Let's see. Genesis Rodriguez, known for such films as Tusk, The Last Stand, Big Hero 6, The Umbrella Academy. She's in the Umbrella Academy. I don't know what she does in the Umbrella Academy. Who is she in the Umbrella Academy? Genesis Rodriguez. Let's see. Miss Genesis?
I don't want Snapchat. I want IMDb.
She plays Sincere. Sicane? Who is Sicane? No. Sloane. Fuck, I need to wear my glasses. Sicane. What the fuck did I get Sicane out of that for? Sloane. So she's Sloane in that.
Need some glasses there, buddy.
Oh, I have glasses somewhere. I'm just not using them.
Okay, she was Honey Lemon in Big Hero 6.
Let's see. In the Hours, she was in Casa Mi Padre.
Identity Thief.
She was in Yoga Hosers? What did she do in Yoga Hosers? Oh, she was the aggressive coach in Yoga Hosers.
Okay.
The one whose accent was way the fuck over the top. Like, way over the top. And Moose Jaws, which hasn't even come out yet. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Does it have a release date? Do we know when Moose Jaws is supposed to be out?
I don't even see Moose Jaws.
Moose Jaws is right here, yeah. No, like Jaws 1975, but with a moose. That's all it says. It doesn't say what the release date is. Nothing. There's no extra information on it. Just release date 2024. Well, we're partway through 2024. Do we have a basic date? Like, is this going to be around Halloween, I imagine? Like, October, I imagine, would be a good time to release a weird fucking horror movie.
Right? It's supposed to come out this year.
Moose Jaws. Alright, well.
When are we getting you?
I love how she's walking around in this half shirt that says "Not Sea Lover." So the shirt she's wearing is "Not Sea Lover." You're a Nazi lover?
Terrible name for a fucking podcast.
It's a great pun, but I also like that it falls in with the little Nazi bratwurst in Yoga Hosers.
Yeah.
So there's a Nazi theme between both films. So I'm wondering if they're going... I'd like to see them with Guy Lapointe. I would like to see them go the other way. I don't want them to make him more exaggerated. I want to see them make him go the other way and make him much more refined.
Okay.
So
Make
rather
him fancy?
than him being like completely outlandish, because they went even crazier with his character in the second film. Him being the exact
Give him a nice
opposite of that,
fucking like haircut and clean him up.
yeah, just clean him up, make him essentially Mordecai from that other movie, which was, by the way, a terrible film for Johnny Depp. Like, it was way too long, too drawn out. And they just kind of beat the accent into the ground for him. It was not a great film for him. So if you want to see a great Johnny Depp film, don't watch Mordecai.
Okay, that sounds like something I'm probably going to do.
I am going to watch it. Well, Chris didn't like it, so maybe I will. Yeah. I think Jude Law's in that, too. I'm just rambling now.
Right? I'm like fucking zoning out watching the movie in the background. I'm fucking toasty, man.
Oh.
That was a good joint.
Well, hey, sometimes you gotta get toasty to speak. I don't even know what to even think about this.
Okay, so I see what you mean about the fucking
the diagrams. The background. He has a whole anatomy, but they don't show enough of it to show how he got from point A to point B. So they have the human anatomy, and then they have little diagrams on how he connects certain parts.
He shows that he fused Justin's arms together.
Right.
Or stitched them to his fucking side.
I like how there's like a leg in an ice bucket.
Right?
Well, you got to do that to, keep the bone fresh? I have no idea. Why? I don't know if the bone... He figures maybe the bone won't attach if it's starting to...
No, it's the meat.
The bone marrow?
No, it's the meat on the leg that he doesn't want rotting.
Okay. Why? I guess...
To add on to the skin suit.
Yeah. There's not a lot of hairy parts on that skin suit, though, and that's a hairy fucking leg.
I mean, I'm sure he fucking shaves it down.
I wonder where he gets the little, whiskers for the tusks.
Right? I was wondering that, too. Maybe they're fucking, extra pieces of bone that he whittled
down. Shaved down bone from different things?
Yeah.
I mean, because he definitely whittled plenty else.
Pieces of the fucking bone.
Oof. God. Oh, and they cut out his tongue, too.
Yep.
So at this point, he's completely fucked. He's talking to this thing on the table that's, well, he's not quite there yet. Not the part. His head's still fully intact here. I would love to see, the full diagram of how they got from point A to point B.
Right.
You can see that right there. Right in the background. So you go from human, and then the middle one is where you're kind of mixing the parts together, and then...
I see what you're talking about.
You have the walrus diagram on the right, the human diagram on the left, and how he makes it from point A to point B in the middle, and that is my computer basically telling me, hey, Dell needs to update your computer. Which means that I didn't hit the mute button when I should have.
Oh, man.
Well, there's a mute button that I do, because sometimes, Instagram will update 500 times, so it'll be diddle-a-dit, which sounds like, what is that? Wayne's World.
It's fucking girlfriend and this dude try calling the cops, and they're like, he's a missing person, he wouldn't do something like this. This isn't some kind of joke. You can find him on our website. It's called the Nazi Party.
Click. They hung up.
They fucking hung up on me.
Because he's in the driver's seat going,
nobody's gonna take you seriously.
Spell it.
Yeah.
You gotta spell it.
No one's gonna fucking take you seriously, dude.
Right? You spell it first. He's a website, NOTSEE, Nazi Party. It's like, wait, what? You say that again? Everybody freaks out as soon as they hear Nazi Party.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole point.
It's the running joke throughout the entire film, is them saying Nazi Party, and people are just, you're fucking what? No, not
the Haiti one.
It requires an explanation every time they say it. And sometimes they don't even get to the explanation because the cops fucking hung up on you. Because you just called yourself a Nazi.
Christ.
I think that Haley Joel Osment played a more believable Nazi in the second film than he played a lover boy in this film.
There's an ear, there's a face.
There's a lot of things on it. He seems to have a lot of energy, though. I saw this and I was just like, what in the fuck is going on? at this
Why
point.
did he put his hands in gloves?
What do you mean?
Like, his hands, they're gloved, like, part of the suit. Why can't he just have his regular hands?
Flippers.
Ah.
Those are his regular hands, but he sewed them into flippers. So he's got a flipper tail. So basically everything from the waist down is... I want to know how they rerouted the digestive tract so he could continue to be...
Yeah, he's there for, like, a while. What is he fucking peeing or shitting out of?
This is basically Dr. Frankenstein if he was obsessed with walruses.
Is all the fucking ick getting stuck inside?
It's like, I want my friend back. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Some of these doctors don't think about where the shit goes. Not the guy from Human Centipede didn't really. Like, you not realize that...
He fucking put a lot of thought into that part, actually.
He put thought about it, but it's like he's trying to create this human centipede, and he's not thinking, that's going to get infected. Like, you're going to get an infection. It's going to kill your human centipede here.
Yeah, and then a fucking...
I know there are two other movies where they might have...
Psychopath obsessed with the first movie fucking wanted to recreate it in a warehouse. He's like a security guard or some shit in a fucking parking garage. And then the third one
is
a
prison warden.
It's a prison warden, and he adds like fucking dozens, hundreds of people.
Yep. I mean, you gotta have a failsafe to with it. Where's the shit going? You got a lot of open wounds here. You don't want to cause an infection.
Right.
You know. You're not thinking ahead. Well, that being said, I think we've said enough about Tusk for the day.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more than we should have. I have nothing else to say.
I don't know what else to say. This is a fucked up movie, man.
Fucked up. As Omar used to say, this could not have come from a sober mind.
No.
Like, this is something you sit down... We've had a couple of episodes where we pitched things at the end, and we pitched some seriously weird fucking shit.
I don't know where I would go with this.
This would come out of us drinking a little bit too much, smoking a little too much, and just sitting around like, what do you want to think? What do you think we should do next with these people?
How else can we make this movie more fucked up?
Like, we had an episode with, I don't know if you were part of that episode, but Queen Latifah's Diamond Butt Plug.
I remember that.
Yep, and then we had the, our favorite episode, the Myrtle Leeches episode was one of my favorites. I could actually go through some of these and write down our ideas, because we had some weird fucking ideas.
We had some weird shit going on, man.
Gotta get back to the pitches.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said...
Anywho...
Yeah, I keep saying, that being said, let's move on, let's go, because...
we're still here!
It's the end of Sunday. Sunday afternoon. You're not going to hear this on Sunday, but that's when we're recording it. We're recording it on a Sunday afternoon, works tomorrow, and... Good God, I want to think about something other than this fleshy walrus. I've watched this movie twice, once without the volume on. Somehow it's a little bit more disturbing without the volume on.
Right?
Because at least I can, kind of pay attention to the noises he's making. This is just fucking weird. I'm thinking about the fact that he actually had to sit in this suit, too, and do all this.
This whole movie.
So, like, 3/4 of the movie, Justin Long is in this, like, costume that just... You can tell that it's several different people because it's all different skin tones.
Yep.
So he definitely gathered together several people and kept different patches of skin from different people.
Forces him to fucking swim.
Well, he's a walrus. You gotta sink or swim.
Yeah, but how's he gonna swim if he's got a fucking chain attached to his fucking back flipper?
I mean, that's a good point.
Dragging him down.
I don't know. I mean, he eventually does, doesn't he?
He fucking sinks, and then he sees all the dead fucking former walrus.
Ugh. So, last thing, how would you rate this film on a scale of 1 to 11?
3.
You're gonna give I'd give it more than a 3.
Yeah, okay, I'll give it a 5. 4.5.
He's like 5, 4.5. I was like, okay, I already thought 3. 5, 4.5, that's pushing it, right? I would give it around a 5.5 out of 11. It's not a horrible film. It's not a great film.
Yeah, it's just discomforting.
It's an uncomfortable watch. A lot of people just talked about how disturbing this film was. There's a lot more disturbing films out here other than Tusk.
We've seen way more disturbing movies. It's just discomforting.
It's weird. And this is also, before we finish up for the day, this is also where I feel like they got to this point where he's now fully a walrus, and they focused a little bit on the walrus stuff, But then when Johnny Depp came in as his character, he chewed up a lot of scenery. There is a lot of dialogue that comes out of his character. And while I like Johnny Depp, don't get me wrong, I think the
monologues feel overwinded.
They could have trimmed it down quite a bit. I don't feel like they needed to focus on him quite as much.
Right. But it brings a lot of explanation.
Oh, it does. I mean, it gives a lot of the backstory.
But it takes too long. Fucking, like, you guys are just sitting in a fucking restaurant.
It's because he's not rattling it off. It's coming out slowly, slurred.
Yeah. Tell the story while you're on your way to fucking Howard Howe's house.
Which I guess is the point to the character. He's kind of an annoying person to have to deal with to begin with. But that's probably why I would rate it as low as I did. A 5.5 is just because there's too much of him just long-winded monologues. Which is the same thing with Yoga Hosers. So when he's involved in the film finally, is just too many long-winded monologues out of him. His monologues were a little bit more fun in Yoga Hosers.
Yeah.
These were a little bit more boring. Like, I feel like he tested the character out here.
You weren't dozing off before, now you are.
Right. It's like getting trapped at a family reunion, listening to your crazy uncle just kind of recall one of his stories. Okay, Uncle Johnny, thank you for that.
Whole lot of nothing about nothing.
Oh. Anyway, thank you on behalf of myself and Miss B for sitting down and listening to our podcast today. If you want to catch up with us anywhere, listen to us on Spotify or literally anywhere where you can find your favorite podcasts.
Yeah.
We're also on Instagram, I guess X instead of Twitter now, and so Facebook. I don't like X. What do you do on X? You tweeted on Twitter. What do you do on X?
Same shit. It's just fucking...
You're not tweeting on X.
People aren't getting fucking banned left and right for being stupid and bigoted and...
Oh, well, I mean, it's both sides.
Yeah.
I don't do the both sides thing all that often. But it's just hateful stuff from both sides, extreme hateful stuff from the left and from the right, and, you know, there's people caught in the middle just trying to be fucking humans.
Right. It's just... Bleh.
So, you know what? I don't care if you're from the left. I don't care if you're from the right. Do yourselves a favor and just try to fucking be human for once.
Right.
You know, there's too much hate in the world. We don't need to just bring more of it out there. Whatever. Because, you know what? I don't hate the films that we watch. I love watching shitty fucking films. A lot of people can use their podcast to talk about how much they fucking hate the movies they have to watch. Yeah, I'm not going to rate it like it's a fucking classic, but I loved watching it, and fucking Kevin Smith, he made a fucking movie. I didn't make a movie. Why am I going to hate on him for making a movie? He made money, or did whatever the hell he did here. Maybe it made money, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it made some fucking money.
I didn't look to see if it made money. I haven't been doing that lately. You want us to provide information? I can provide more information.
Let's find out.
I'm looking. We're supposed to be signing off here, but before we leave, we'll see if this fucking made money. Did it make money? I am looking. You gotta fill it in here. That's Moose Jaws. That's not Tusk. Shit. I'm looking at the wrong movie for money making here. Okay, so Tusk. Box office $1.9 million. On what? What was your budget, dude? Give me your budget. I like how IMDb has a subscription service for extra information. Like, hey, you know what?
If you want
this information, give me money. It's like, no, just tell me what I need to know, because I can look it up on Wikipedia if I have to.
Right.
They lost money. So the movie itself had a budget of $3 million. Worldwide gross was $1.8 million.
Oof. That's a hit.
So, yeah, they lost about $1.1 million on this particular film. You know, as much as I like Johnny, trim down his monologues a little bit. You have a tighter, shorter film, and it would have been you get to the point. At this point, he's the walrus. Now there's this whole long, drawn out, and even like Haley Joel Osment during some of these scenes where he's listening to him like just talk.
Fucking forever.
He's just looking around like, can we get on with this? Can we move on? Like, he's leaning in close to Johnny Depp. He's got this look on his face like, could you have used breath mints? Oh my God. Just get to the point. All right.
Could this be any longer?
Wait, now you're going to tell us an entire backstory about where you met this guy?
From 2 years ago.
And it's like a 15-minute scene? Sure. About a brown recluse. He's the hockey guy, but the hockey guy was there. We could have had the hockey guy, but we did not have the hockey guy because I did not know he had the hockey guy.
Oh
He just
my
goes
God.
back and forth talking about it. It's like, oh my God.
Yep.
Johnny.
Anywho.
So, we've gone through our find us where we want to find us. So
Find us.
sign us out, Miss B.
Drink some fucking water, you thirsty bitches.
And I'm going to go find a little bit of water because, God, I'm fucking thirsty.
Woo!